y'all, it's Nadia. We're in week 2 now, and this week we're talking about silence. Not peaceful silence, survival silence. And today we're starting with a phrase a lot of us grew up hearing. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Now tell me you didn't hear that when you was growing up. Now let me say this first. Every family deserves privacy. Every household deserves respect. Not everything needs to be shared publicly. Privacy protects families, but there's a difference between privacy and enforced silence. Because sometimes that phrase, what goes on in this house, stays in this house, isn't about protection. It's about control. It's about image. It's about keeping things contained, even when something needs to be addressed. And when you grow up hearing that, you learn very quickly what not to say, and even more, when to say what you can say. I learned early not to say too much, not to share too much, not to talk about what happened at home, not to express things that might make the family look anything less than okay. So even when something confused me, I kept it inside. Even when something hurt, I kept it inside. And even when I needed guidance or reassurance, I learned to process it on my own. Because telling felt like betrayal. Telling felt like disloyalty. Shit. Telling felt like breaking a rule that nobody had to express or explain. I just knew. Or shall I say, I knew better. And when you grow up like that, silence becomes normal. Another thing that comes with that phrase is protecting the image of the household. From the outside, everything should look fine. Everything should look together. Everything should look stable. So whatever happens internally stays internal. And as a child, you learn to participate in that. You learn what not to say at school, what not to say to friends, what not to say to extended family, what not to say to anyone outside those walls. You learn how to present like everything is okay, even when you're still processing things inside. And that becomes a habit, a way of being. When you're taught not to speak on certain things, you start internalizing everything. You become self contained. You handle things mentally, emotionally, silently. You stop looking for outside support. You stop expressing confusion. You stop asking questions. You just keep it in. And over time, keeping everything in starts to feel normal. It starts to feel like strength because people describe you as mature, strong, private, independent. But sometimes that independence is just internalized silence. Sometimes that strength is just unspoken emotion with nowhere to go. Here's what I'm realizing now. The things we were taught not to say as children don't magically become easy to say as adults. If you grew up being taught not to tell, you become an adult who struggles to open up. If you grew up protecting the household image, you become an adult who protects your personal image at all costs. If you grew up internalizing everything, you become an adult who handles pain quietly, even in relationships. You might stay silent when something bothers you. You might avoid expressing needs. You might tolerate things longer than you should, way longer. Because somewhere inside, that old rule still exists. Keep it in. Handle it yourself. Don't expose too much. And that can create distance, not just from others, but from yourself. Now, as an adult, I understand differently. Privacy is healthy. Boundaries are healthy. Not everything needs to be shared with everyone. But there's a difference between healthy privacy, and harmful silence. Because privacy protects families, silence protects dysfunction, silence protects confusion, silence protects unresolved issues, silence protects patterns that need to be addressed. And healing requires a different kind of honesty, not public oversharing, not disrespect, not blame, just honesty with yourself, acknowledging what you experienced, acknowledging how it affected you, acknowledging what you internalized, so you can decide what you want to keep and what you want to release. What goes on in this house stays in this house. The phrase that shaped a lot of us. It taught us how to keep things inside, how to handle things quietly, how to protect the image even when we needed support. But now, as adults, we're allowed to revisit those rules. We're allowed to choose expression over suppression, understanding over silence, healing over image. This is week 2, Silence as Survival, episode 7. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Tomorrow, we're going deeper into something many of us learned early. Don't tell. Stay with me. If this resonates, subscribe.